So it's a sad moment when so many Kenyans in Lebanon, they are stuck in Beirut. And I'm just trying to follow up a video in which Brenda was holding an interview with an ambassador. And also, who is this? We'll actually see in the video. So from the reality, it's like there's some laxity. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is taking too long to rescue Kenyans who are stuck there. And Brenda is actually asking why many Kenyans go to Kuwait or other Gulf countries, then they end up in places like this. Now, remember Lebanon, the situation happened recently when a blast occurred, and it led to a lot of injuries, and the natives, some of them ran away, or some already ran earlier on. You actually saw in my reaction video recently when I was urging Kenya to act, there were young women who were wailing, helplessly, and you could feel it. So I want you just to see how the response from the two whom Brenda is interviewing are responding, and then from there we can actually talk. Unfortunately, there is blackout, and I'm still making content because I had a target this night before I could sleep. Yeah, you can actually see the comments and what some people are saying there as I continue checking on this video. Yeah, so you see this.
From what we have seen is Kenyans are suffering in a foreign country. And the picture that some of these Kenyans have portrayed is that the government does not care about them. You, as a representative of Kenyans in diaspora, have you reached out to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Brenda, allow me to say I would be a bit slow to hold it against the government of Kenya because government is big. In this particular case, I think it's clearly falls on the laps of the ambassador, Kenya's ambassador in Kuwait, under whose jurisdiction Lebanon, Kenyans in Lebanon fall. But two major concerns we have at the moment as Kenya Diaspora Alliance, Brenda, if you permit. First, there is a lady we codenamed Irene, one of the people we have been communicating with, Irene not being her official name, who apparently disappeared 2-3 days ago and nobody knows of her whereabouts. We hope she's safe. We think it's incumbent upon the government and all human rights bodies, both the republics of Lebanon and Republic of Kenya, to ensure the safety of this Kenyan national. Secondly, we are concerned about the 15 Kenyan girls that Ambassador Romano talked about that are residing on the streets. I understand one of them is heavily expectant. That's very cruel. And another, I understand, has got a 3-month-old baby, as Ambassador has narrated. Certainly, we need immediate action to, one, provide the basic needs, food, accommodate them appropriately, maybe in affordable hotel, as arrangements are made to get them back home. Because no matter whether they are documented or not, if there are Kenyans, they're still our people.
So, Dr. Ochoa, just before I go to Ambassador Romano, let me just, read this for you, what Halima Mohamud, the Kenyan ambassador to Kuwait, said. She says that the mission has instructed the protesters, actually Kenyans who are protesting, you've seen that video on a screen of viewers and on your screens right now, earlier on, and she says that the embassy in Kuwait has instructed the protesters to register with the honorary consulate in Beirut to get travel documents. Have these Kenyans done that?
Brenda, the information we get from Kenyans on the ground, and we listen to a diversity of Kenyans before we get involved in this. And allow me to compliment the African Union, the AU ECOSOC, where I represent East Africa region, through which Ambassador Romano got our contact. And I compliment Ambassador Romano for drawing this matter to our attention yesterday. For the past about 4 or 5 days, we've been communicating with Kenyans. And there are three calibers of Kenyans, major categories of Kenyans in Lebanon. There are the professionals, mostly working at the United Nations. Then there are the semi-skilled and unskilled workers, where domestic workers fall. And lastly, there are students. And all those three categories corroborate the information I'll share today with the network. It would appear they have beef with the consulate, because when they go to the consulate to get help, they claim, and I have no way to prove this. I gathered, I think towards the end of last year, the embassy in Kuwait was meant to send a team to establish facts. But these are issues that have been reported on our on other TV networks, that there is extortion of Kenyans. But that's something that government needs to investigate, because that would be very serious. The only place Kenyans can go for help is at the embassy or the consulate. And when they go there, and some of them even end up getting arrested, contrary to the 1963 Vienna Convention, and an official of the consulate says, look, the police just came and took away a Kenyan from here. We all know that's not possible unless the head of that mission authorizes or allows police to come in. So there are things, there are grievances.
Right, so we've
blame government for it.
we've actually heard from the ambassador, both from the Kenyan and the one for Lebanon. And it means situations out there in the Gulf are not good. So our people out there, whenever you are out, it means we have to be very careful, because sometimes when situations worsen, then we are left on our own. Now I want us to look at this one also a bit on the stranded Kenyans at war. And let's see this, and actually it is disastrous. Yeah.
Against the Hezbollah. As just Reuters reports, the escalation is raising fears of an all-out war in the volatile region. Israel launched a ground operation across its northern border into Lebanon, targeting the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah, opening a new and dangerous phase in almost a year of war. The latest escalation comes after Israel killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in an airstrike on Friday. This as Israel ramped up airstrikes that have so far killed hundreds of people, destroyed homes, and displaced about 1 million people in Lebanon.
The Israel Defense Forces is conducting limited and targeted raids along Israel's northern border against the threat Hezbollah poses to civilians in northern Israel.
Kenyans in Lebanon are among those affected by the crisis. Karen Bosire is currently stuck in Beirut.
Nimekaa Lebanon for 1 year and a half. Ukilala usiku unastuka bombs zimerushwa. So hakuna kulala usiku, at least saa hii morning ndio unapata mtu analala. And then mambo na Kenya embassy, hakuna usaidizi wowote ambao tumepata kutoka kwa embassy ya Kenya.
In this regard, the Foreign Affairs Ministry has urged Kenyans in Lebanon to register for evacuation, with a deadline for registration set for 12th October 2024. According to the ministry, 2 groups of Kenyans have successfully been evacuated from Lebanon. Registration is through www.diaspora.go.ke/lebanon.html. In a move that might escalate the Middle East crisis, Iran launched a missile attack against Israel, with explosions heard in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Most of the missiles were intercepted, though a school in central Israel was hit. The U.S., in reaction to the missile attack, reaffirmed its support for Israel.
Our initial assessment is that
Yeah. Actually see things on the ground are not good, and therefore Kenyans deserve to be helped. I'm happy that at least some have been lifted back, and I hope that if you are out there in Lebanon you are following that link and you're registering so that you can come back home, because you can die as a result of joblessness. You can seek something with whatever you might have saved and then get on with life. But I hope that the corruption that has been mentioned will not continue to block Kenyans from being assisted in whichever way. The arrests that always occur in the Gulf, it's unfortunate that sometimes the embassies we rely on cannot help us. So subscribe to this channel, because actually I'm trying to look at social, economic, political aspects, because they make us. That is what makes us. Yeah. So support me, because I actually rely on you to do what I do. Thank you.